Number 10, Life is Strange Before the Storm. At first, I wasn't exactly sure how I would like this game. And I'm going to tell you why. I love Life is Strange. The first 5 episodes, dare I say, perfection. Absolutely great. One thing that I didn't like about Life is Strange, the first one, is the character Chloe. Really. That is like, I did not like her character one little bit. So coming to Life is Strange Before the Storm, where basically the main character is Chloe, I had very mixed feelings about it. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not. And after playing the first 2 episodes, which I have to say that's currently what is out now, the next one is coming out on the 20th of December, which is about 10 days from now, up to the end of episode 2. It was obviously it was not as good as the first one, but the thing is, graphically, looks like the first one. The feel is like the first one. The soul is like the first one. So they got definitely down. I can nitpick this, that, and the other thing, and that's all they're going to be, is nitpicks, basically. Other than that, as a game, it feels like the first one. It has the soul of the first one, and that's why it's on this list, because I don't think I would actually be able to put it in honorable mentions. It had to be on the list, and unfortunately, it's at the bottom of the list, but nevertheless, it's on the list. I feel like going on and on and on about like little nitpicks, how voices are changed, but that's probably because of apparently a voice actor strike, and they had to get other characters. So other than that, it's good. It's good. All I can say is that it's good. It's not as good as the first one, but it's good. Number 9 is Dragon Quest Heroes 2. So basically, Dragon Warrior, the RPG series, and the Warrior series, and you mash them up, and you get Dragon Quest Heroes. It's your basic hack and slash, basically 1 versus 100 man army type thing. I do have to say that these games tend to be fun to begin with, and then eventually become very, very, very the same. And that's pretty much any Warriors game I've actually played. I played Gundam, I played Hyrule Warriors, I played Samurai Warriors, I played Dynasty Warriors. And they all are like awesome to begin with, and then they become very repetitive. But the thing is, still, it is great just going through the field, decimating everything along the way. Such a great rush. Such a great rush. And if you had a bad day, you come home, you play one of these Warrior games, and it feels so satisfying. That's basically it. And that's Dragon Quest Heroes 2 for definitely me. The thing is that I've actually played the first one this year also, but it didn't come out this year. Actually, number 2 actually came out this year, in English anyway. And the story, I have to say, is basic. Basic for Dragon Quest. Decent for an actual Warriors game, but very basic for Dragon Quest. So if you're coming with this with the Dragon Quest feel, the story is going to be kind of bare bones. But if you're coming over from a Warriors series, it's pretty much that, except with Dragon Quest characters. So that's all I can basically say to that. Throughout the game, you'll get heroes from not each of the games, but a select few of the games, like 6. Definitely 4. I think 4 has the most characters. I think a bit of 1 or 2 are from 5. I know there's 6, there's 7, which is actually kind of interesting because 7 is before it was released for 3DS. very hard to find. So that's very interesting. And obviously 8 with very popular Angelo and Jessica. But other than that, controls, fantastic. Graphics, beautiful. Beautiful. Like, if the graphics look exactly the same in Dragon Quest 11, which is going to be coming out hopefully next year, hopefully, in English, in North American, because I did not get an import copy of it. But nevertheless, if graphics look fantastic like they do in this game, oh my god, the music, a great looking sounding game, but do forewarn that it is a Warriors game, so it will get repetitive. That's all I need to say about that. Other than that, great game. Even the voice work is fantastic. I have to even applaud them for the voice work. All the voices, they're done great, and they have like a good level of like cheese to them. And that's the thing. It's like the good type of cheese also. Other than that, Dragon Quest Heroes, fantastic game. Number 8, we're heading back to the 1990s, early 1990s, and Sega. Oh yeah. It is the revitalization, I don't care if it's not a word, of Sonic. 2D Sonic. Sonic Mania. Oh yes. And this is the most craziest thing, is that I was a Nintendo guy during that era. The whole Nintendo versus Sega, I was a Nintendo guy. But the thing is, during that time, I got myself a Sega Genesis. Strictly, and I mean strictly, to play Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic 3 Knuckles. That's it. I got a whole system just to play those, like, 4 games, I guess. I don't know if you count Sonic 3 with Knuckles, because you can kind of go into one. So I count that as like one game. So those 3 games, got a Sega Genesis just for that. Of course I'm going to get Sonic Mania. Holy cow. 2D Sonic that looks, feels like a 2D Sonic game. At its prime. Oh my goodness, like Sonic, it's like Sonic 3 with Knuckles, but better. It just blows my mind how fantastic the flow, the style, like they got the style down packed, man. Oh. The feels, I guess a little bit of the story in it. Yeah, the story, again, takes place right after Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's the return of Sonic at his prime. And hopefully this actually brings more to the Blue Hedgehog. Actually, you know, because he's got a lot of flack in the years. And I have to say, it is time for Sonic to shine once again. And hopefully, well, at least in his 2D reincarnation, Sonic Forces obviously is not on this list. But in 2D wise, hopefully it is returned to the greatness of 2D Sonic. Number 7. And this is going to probably be a very controversial number 7 because of how low it is on the list. And I'll try to explain why it's on this low on the list. But that is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I can hear the negative comments coming right there. It's like, oh my god, why do you have it on number 7? Why isn't it not number 1? Well, the thing is, when I actually got it, yes, visually, it looks amazing. But even the sound, well, I have to say, even the music from what is in it is beautifully, but I think it could have had more music, like more traditional Zelda music to it. Just a little bit more. And I can see good things of this and bad things of this. And the thing is, definitely, it needs a bit more music, in my case. Other than that, the graphics, nothing wrong with that, because it has a blend of like Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess and even like Wind Waker, like all meshed into one. And I'm fine with that because it looks fantastic. The scenic, and the thing is, it's literally, if you see something, you can actually go to it type of thing. And that's what I actually loved about that. But also, when I had actually, at the time when I got it, I was in a severe burnout of open world games. Like, I was in a severe burnout. And I didn't really want to traverse the actual entire map of actually looking for basically everything. So it was really, I didn't really play it much because I was like, oh god, I don't want to go over do all this. It's fantastic. It was a double-edged sword for me because I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it. So the best solution I did was to put it down, go on to other things, and then come back to it. Because when I first played it, I played it on the Wii U. But when I actually returned to play it, it was on the Switch. And I have to say, when I returned it on the Switch, it was like a revitalization again. I actually wanted to explore things, and I went around, and I actually wanted to not complete it, but finish it to see the ending. And that's what I did. And I'm really glad I did this, because I felt I had like a more experience of actually going places, going up those mountains, going through those like lakes and ponds, and through those caves, and through the shrines, and going through to awaken all the sacred beasts, and talking to the townspeople, and it just kind of I felt better going through it at the time. So yes, if I actually kept my original opinion, Breath of the Wild wouldn't even be on this list. But the thing is, it was good, but I think it still needs to be a little bit more. And you're saying, okay, well, it's open world. Like, what more can it be? I don't know. It feels, it has the Zelda like skin to it, but it doesn't feel like Zelda. And I guess that's, some people like that, and some people don't. And the thing is, I like a little bit of guidance of where to go. And yes, there's basically subquests, and it just seems like it's turning into like a lot of those open world games that people just kind of pass off as, oh, it's just another open world game. And the thing is, I really hope it doesn't go in that direction. And that's the thing. Like, I'm kind of fearful for Zelda. If it continues on this path, it needs to find its own identity again, instead of actually doing like, oh, it's an open world, but yet it feels like, and that's the case that I bring back when I first played it is that I played so many open world games up to that point that it basically felt like the same thing that I've been playing the last few times. And that was like, this is a Zelda game. I should feel really good. And the thing is, it didn't. And that's what's kind of scared me. So that's why I kind of just put it down and played some other things. And when I returned it, it was better. I think Breath of the Wild will be like a fine wine. Basically, if you have it as soon as it was made, it tastes great. But the thing is, as it ages, it just gets better. So the thing is, I think when I play it again, maybe in like a month or two, because there's DLC coming out and I need to go through the DLC and all that. And one of these days I do want to actually complete it, but one thing at a time. When I play it again, I think I'll even enjoy it better. So the thing is it really going to stay at number 7 all the time? The thing is, of 2017, yes, it is going to be my 7th favorite game of this year. But is it going to go up? I can see it going up in my all-time favorites. And that's what I can basically say about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild right now. Number 6. Now, number 6 is the first game I actually played this year that was released in 2017. And that game was Tales of Berseria. Now, there's a few things I want to actually say before I actually get into why I like this game. One, I have not completed or finished a Tales game since Tales of Destiny on the PS1. I played a little bit of Tales of Destiny 2 on the PS1. I played a little bit of Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube. And I have to say, I finished Tales of Grace F for the PS3. But that's after I finished Tales of Berseria. So that's kind of like my history of the Tales games. I absolutely loved Tales of Destiny 1. It was fantastic. But the rest didn't really resonate with me at the time, which that's why I went Tales of Grace F to see if I would like another Tales game other than Tales of Berseria. And the thing is, yeah, it was good, and that was great. And this is basically what it is. Now, Tales of Berseria, why do I like it? One, and I do have to say one of the most key thing is the story and the main character behind the story. The main character is Velvet, and her, how I say, motivational revenge on basically this close friend that she thought was a friend but wasn't. Basically her revenge. And the thing is, revenge plots I can get behind if they are sound. And I have to say this is pretty sound because, well, something very drastic happened to put that nice wedge between Velvet and this friend. I'm not going to get into spoilers, that's why I'm keeping it vague. And her journey from basically turning into this beast, this monster, and finding out that she's not really too much of a monster compared to the rest of the world type of thing. And that's what kind of actually got me. This is why it's like number 6 is because the story and it just how it grows. And the thing is, comparing it to, the only thing I could compare it at the time was basically Tales of Destiny. And the thing is, with Tales of Destiny, it's kind of split in two. And I was thinking, okay, well, is the game going to see split in two, basically? And the thing is, it really isn't. And the thing is, there's a bit of twists. There's a lot of there's a bit of cheese in it, but I think that's for the actual series itself, because I remember Tales of Destiny had a lot of really kind of cringy cheese moments, but again, the good type of cheese. And the thing is, the graphics look fantastic, like these nice anime type of character models that fit like the environments fantastically. Like the environments weren't too realistic, but they were like realistic enough to be in this world. Like the graphics were fantastic, the music was great. I love, the thing is, there's the battle theme, and the normal battle themes were fantastic. The atmosphere was great, and the characters at times were, the thing is, if you're going to journey with characters like in a nice party, you kind of like to like them. And the thing is, I don't really have a, like, there's one that I might not like, and there's two maybe in like some RPGs, but like the whole rounded cast of characters in this game, Tales of Berseria, was good. Like none were like, oh well, I really don't like this character. I really don't like this character. They were all rounded and they were pretty good. That's the thing. Maybe not in battle, but as they were in the story, they were sound. They were good. They had their own little arcs here and there, which is good. But other than that, the flow of the gameplay was great. The story started a little bit slow, and then was ramped up to like 100 in like literally in probably the first hour. And then it kind of mellowed out, and then it goes, it's a nice roller coaster instead of like the nice spiked roller coasters that are like, oh well, we gotta put like twists and turns. No, it was a nice moving roller coaster ride, and that's why I liked it. And the thing is, there was at times, especially the last dungeon, where I'm like, oh god, I don't want to do grinding. And there was a little grinding I had to do here and there, but there was next to no grinding, because the battle system was good. Oh my goodness, like. And the thing is, it just made it so great, because almost immediately after Berseria, I actually went to Tales of Grace F. And Tales of Grace F did not have a good battle system. So the Tales of Berseria's battle system made it even better that this is a good, great battle system. And that's the thing. And just the thing is, the major point is that you got to get behind the character that you're basically playing, which is Velvet. And the thing is, I got behind her. I was thinking, like, oh my god, this is how I probably would have actually did this in her shoes. What she's been through, this is how I would react to this circumstance. And that's, to me, a key part of storytelling. So that's why Berseria is number 6 on my favorite games of 2017. Number 5. Number 5 was a very interesting choice. Played it early on in the year. There was a lot of actual negativity before its release. But when it was released, in actually the first week or so, everyone was saying, my God, it's back. And that's survival horror is back in Resident Evil. And that is Resident Evil 7. And that's basically what it is. I wasn't too keen on the first-person feel of the game at first. I was like, oh my God, first person, not too sure. It just made it better. It's like a nice steak and you put just a little bit of spice on it. No, you want to put the good spice on it, and that's what the first person made to that steak, basically. My God. The horror aspect of this game, it reminded me not of like even a Resident Evil game, like not the first one, but like the remake of the first one, Zero, and if anything, the feel of like the Silent Hill games also, the first 3 at least, anyway. Horror is back because you were terrified because you were underpowered, could not even almost defend yourself. You had to run because of this family. And it's basically the family. You go through popping one after another, basically. And the thing is, oh my God, should I even go through it? Like, yeah, the father, insane. But in a great way. Oh my God, great. The guy is great. The father, fantastic. I love him as a character. He is fantastic. Mother, creepy as hell. Great atmosphere in her part. And oh my goodness, it's just like the boss battle of her, oh my God, is insane. And the thing is, you gotta find her quickly. And oh my goodness. Other than that, the son was actually very different, because the thing is, you don't actually take him on, you actually go through his puzzles. And the thing is, it's a great twist in actual like gameplay. It's like, oh well, I need to go and fight this guy. No, you don't fight him, you take on his puzzle and you have to beat it. If not, boom, you're done. And the thing is, with the sister, or with the daughter, sister, I guess his sister, but the daughter, is that she's actually the one who helps you throughout all this. And the thing is, she's actually getting her own DLC later on, but like, oh my goodness, like, the only thing that I can probably basically say is that the ending could have been a little bit better, and I think it felt rushed. Like the ending felt rushed. And that's basically what I can say about that. And that's like one negative part, but other than that, the look of it, oh my God, fantastic. The music, the atmosphere, it's oozing with basically, oh my God, you're like sweating bullets basically going through underneath the porch, and you hear the banging of the father on the floor just literally above you. It's intense, if anything. And the thing is, it would have been even better. It actually would have been like lower on this list, but I have to put it up to here. Mainly for the VR aspect of this game. Like, I didn't think ever that I would be interested in doing any kind of game in VR. Just none of it looks... Even the horror games that were on VR before didn't appeal to me. I'm like, It's like, whatever. This one, full game VR. Atmospheres, like, I really don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm trying to explain it to, like, people. Like, you see it on the TV, okay, that you see it on the TV, but seeing it basically in VR, totally different experience. Totally different experience, and I don't really, like, I have not even played through it in VR because, my God, it is beyond intense. Like, those creepy moments are kicked up to 100-fold in VR. Oh my God. Insane. And the thing is, I hate to say it, but yeah, I got a little PS VR system specifically playing that game. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. Because every person that comes over here, it's like, you gotta check out this VR. And the thing is, I don't even need to play the bloody game to show them it. The title screen is justice in VR. You put it on, you're in the camper. You literally see around you the whole camper. You see things on the table, you can literally feel like you can pick them up. Insane. And that's basically, I need to say, that's all I can basically say, because holy cow, this game, and I have not played any of the DLC yet. My God. Like, I really hope that Resident Evil, this like puts Resident Evil back on the map of basically being a survival horror, not a action game like the last few of them were. Don't get me wrong, I like Resident Evil 4, but the direction that it was going in, more action, less horror, just doesn't scream Resident Evil. That's basically it to me. Other than that, the game is a thrill ride. And that's all I can say. Number 4. Number 4 comes to me very late in the year, but it was the game you needed to play on the Switch, and that is the Mario game on the Switch, which is Super Mario Odyssey. Mario 64 2, basically. That's all I can basically say, is that it's Mario 64 2. Because it feels like Mario 64, it sounds like Mario 64, and just the whole feeling, like the soul. Like I've said that a few times in like games. It's like the feeling you play when you play it. It feels like Mario 64 if it was developed nowadays, which is fantastic. Oh my God, it is fan-freaking-tastic. And the thing is, when it came out, I didn't get it right away. And the thing is, I was going to hold it off until like at least the new year. But the thing is, every channel, everything, like I could not go on the internet without actual, because I did not want to get spoilers. And the thing is, it came down to it that I had to get it like a week or two after it came out, because if not, I would have been spoiled up the yin yang, up the wall, and I didn't want that. And yeah, it's a Mario game, there's not really too much to spoil, but it's discovering areas on your own, like discovering that new world, discovering going to that Lake Kingdom, that New Donk City, the hell, the moon, on your own, and just feeling the way you just go into those worlds and just seeing it's like almost like Zelda, and you just soak in the atmosphere, and that's basically why I had to. And the thing is, when I was playing it, it was a non-stop thing to the end. Literally, I was almost playing with blinders, basically, because I could not watch anything, see anything without seeing Mario Odyssey. So I had to actually play that thing from beginning to end, and it was a fantastic, beautiful ride. My God. There was times, like during the song in New Donk City, when you're going through it, I was going through it, and I had tears in my eyes because I was like, "Oh my God, this is like such a like callback," and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is such a fantastic title." That part, beautiful. Oh my God, beautiful. That's all I can say. The graphics, beautiful. The sound, fantastic. The feel, the soul is there. Oh my God. And the thing is, I didn't even 100% it yet. I just went through the game. And I was like... And the thing is, it's not that difficult. There was a few parts at the end where I was like, oh my God, this is like really, really annoying. But there was no parts where I was like, oh my God, I'm throwing my controller across the room. Like I kind of did in Mario 64. It had a nice, good balance. And that's... It does Mario in all its good things. Like, there's little things here and there I can probably say. But other than that, the package, the whole package that you get currently right now, which might have DLC in the future, who knows, is a grade A masterpiece. And that's why it is number 4. Number 3. Here we are in the top 3. I've squealed about a lot of the previous ones, but the ones that really, really, really get me is the ones that reach me in my soul, in my actual being, that basically awaken something that actually is deep within. And the next 3 did have those moments. And let's go with it. Number 3, Nier Automata. I don't even know where to actually start with this one. I played the demo when the demo was available. Okay, I was like, okay, this is interesting. It had a blend of a old style twin stick shooter and literally like 3D hack and slash put together. I was like, okay. Seemed okay. It definitely caught my interest. The style, the music, hell, even the 2 characters that you somewhat play. Well, you play one, and then the other one is just basically a communicator. There was a lot of chemistry between those 2 in the demo. For a demo. Like, the only other demo that I think has that much more atmosphere is, like, PT. But it really had a lot of atmosphere and character to that demo. It was insane. So I was like, okay, I definitely got to pick this up, like, when it comes out. But the thing is, it was and the thing is, with the games that I actually get is that I wait until a price drop for them, because normally, unless the game is guaranteed that I know it is going to be definitely great, like in the Marios and hell, even Zelda. I did pick up Zelda the first week. So yeah, unless it's the Mario, the Zeldas, the Final Fantasies, anything new, I'm very skeptical that it is going to be fantastic. And the thing is, there wasn't a lot online about this at the time when it actually was released. There was the thing of saying, yeah, this is a great but odd game, basically, in so many words. So I didn't really know how to perceive this, basically. So I was... And then I learned a little bit more about it. It is a side story. It's a sequel of a side story of Dragon Guard. The thing is, I didn't really actually keep up the Dragon Guard series other than the first one, which I did play a little bit of it. But again, it felt like almost like a standard hack and slash with dragons, basically. I didn't get in depth with it, and then I actually lost the game. I don't know how I did, but somehow I did lose the game. And I never played the second one, but I hear that's not part of the actual series. And then number 3 is that I actually played 3 this year, Dragon Guard 3, on a stream, just because I picked it up for cheap. I was like, okay, Dragon Guard, yeah, okay, sure. And I played it, and my god, number 3, riot and a half. And I was kind of hoping that Nier Automata had that type of kind of humor and feel to it, but done a lot better, because Dragon Guard 3 had a lot of technical issues to it. Let's just say the technical issues, smoothed out, holy cow. Gameplay, fantastic. And the thing is, I wouldn't expect anything less than with Platinum Games. Holy cow. Platinum Games, perfect. My god. Hack and slash. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. But the story, I was going with the story. So, I continued playing it. And it had a very standard, okay, mission-based, okay, you go there, you do that, you do this, you do that. And the thing is, it was... I wouldn't want to say bland, but it had little parts being like, oh, okay, this is interesting, and this is interesting. And then the middle, or just slightly after the middle happened, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? That was the hook. And again, no spoilers. Like, what the hell? And the greatest thing is that this game has multiple endings, and we're talking a great amount of multiple endings. We're talking, I think, 26. 26? I think it was 26. It's basically A to Z. So the thing is, that's a lot of endings, and you're thinking, well, I have to go through the game 26 times? No way. I'm not going to do that. No. There's only about like 4, maybe 5 of like full playthrough endings. The rest come later on. So the best thing you can probably do is just go through the game the way you wanted, and then afterwards it's like you kind of think, okay, well, how about if I went this way instead of where I was told to go? Well, that's another ending. That's a thing. Even the optional bosses and everything, multiple endings. And that's... But the feel of the game, it was... And the thing is, again, you want to get behind the character that you're playing. Your character you're playing is 2B. She's an android sent to Earth to destroy machines that were actually sent by aliens that take over Earth. That premise itself, just saying it, is like, what? What? And then in the story, you come, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like you actually go and you come, like, you got almost drilled in your head that these robots, these like cute little robots, are the enemy. And then you find out, oh, they're not all bad. And then it's like, oh, but they might be bad. And then, oh my god, like, then, oh, like, then they form cults, and then they form, like, I don't even know where to even begin. Like, almost literally past halfway moment. I don't even know where to begin. And then the thing is, that's just with 2B. We have another character we can play, which is the communicator that usually is with 2B. Again, I can't remember what the technical term is, but you can play as him also. And when you play as him, oh my god, it is emotional level like 9, 10. Oh my goodness. Holy jeez. The game just gets a whole lot of weird. Let's just say, oh damn. And even after that, it's like, you play through the game, you come to the end, you got the credits, and you think, and they're normal credits. And the thing is, you turn it on again, and it's like, oh, I can continue the story. There's more. I'm like, okay, that's good. So you go on there, and then, oh my god, stuff happens. And then you go down this nice spiral, and I'm like story-wise, you go in this like nice spiral of events all the way to the end. And you're like, am I finished? And the thing is, nope. You want to get the true ending? You got to go through literally the credits. It kind of feels like almost like a kind of like almost a Smash Brothers or like a Splatoon thing where you're interacting with the credits. But literally, you got to shoot the credits as the credits shoot you back, and you gotta complete it, and you could die during the credits to get the true ending. So I have to say, that ending, definitely not worth it. But so just YouTube that stuff, and then but going through the game itself, yeah, definitely good. And the thing is, I didn't actually even play the prequel to this, like the first one. Like, I saw it and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, and I think I might pick it up one day. And then it kind of just, like, I wouldn't say faded into obscurity. It just got very hard to get. And then also, and then the sequel came out, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll play the sequel. And I'm really kind of glad I actually did. This game is a goddamn emotional roller coaster that you would probably never think it would be an emotional roller coaster. It's like, holy jeez, am I feeling things or am I not feeling things? It really questions a lot of things that you're feeling. It's like, should I be feeling this or shouldn't I? Like, I don't really know. And that's what makes this a gem. It plays on the player's emotions in so many different ways. And that's why it's number 3 on my list. Number 2. Number 2 was a total surprise. I did not think I would be this devoted to a game like this, basically. Like, I didn't think, because the games, and I'll get into this a little bit more, the games that it kind of feels like were basically Assassin's Creed, Tomb Raider. Like, I didn't play, I've really gotten out of those games because they really just, they're like, they eventually turned, like, I don't really want to play them anymore. But this one, I really hope doesn't go down that path, but nevertheless, number 3 is Horizon Zero Dawn. A left hook to the face. That's basically what I have to say. It feels definitely like if you're playing an Assassin's Creed game mixed with a Tomb Raider game, like the newer Tomb Raider games. But the thing is, better controls. The stealth is still a bit questionable, nevertheless. But the thing is, you're basically fighting giant, not giant, well, yeah, actually, they are giant mechanical beasts that are like a tiger, like almost a T-Rex type of thing. And you're taking on this as a big human size. It's like holy jeez. I didn't think that would work as well as it did. Like when I took on like some of those big bads in the game, I was like, oh god, how am I gonna fight this thing? And this is just like a normal enemy that just like comes around in the area. Like, how am I supposed to fight a giant freaking T-Rex or a giant, like, I would say Thunderbird, like huge, like almost the size of a mountain, a small mountain. But how am I supposed to take them down? And the thing is, oh my god, when you take down your first Thunderjaw, or I think it is Thunderbird, it is a rush. Oh my god, the rush you get from that. I did not know how to fight things very, like how to destroy them quite easily until the ending portion of the game. So all throughout the game, I was fighting them pretty much with arrows. The various arrows that you actually get. Never got into bombs. One key thing you want to know in this game, you want to upgrade those bombs as quick as possible, because they'll make the game loads easier. And I wish I actually knew that going in. Oh my god, because I was just doing arrows. The various arrows you get, using those. Oh my god, I was using... One good thing that I learned was actual weak points. I learned how to utilize weak points in these giant creatures to take them down. Fantastic. And why am I going on about the battle? Because the battles, the fighting, the gameplay itself is like, I want to go with spectacular, but super-tacular, basically. Mix those words together. That's what this game is. My god. I really don't know what else to actually say other than the gameplay is that it is great. It flows as well. Like I said, the stealth sections could work, like needs work a little bit, but still, the action sequences, when you're out in the field, fantastic. When you're going through the caverns, atmosphere, fantastic. And the thing is, let's talk about the atmosphere. One, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. You take a look at the game, it don't look like a post-apocalyptic world in the sense if you actually say that to a person. Like, when I think of a post-apocalyptic world, I think of Fallout. It don't look like Fallout, let's just say. There's greenery everywhere. There's ruined buildings, but they are like it looks like it's been like thousands of years past this disaster. And the thing is, That's the greatest thing about this game, is that you can read about what happened before and read about maybe what was happening during that time, but it's not a main focus of like why this world is the way it is. It's like from the old days of the old world to this world. That's not a main focus. It's strictly optional, and that's pretty good because I want to be absorbed in this world that you're playing through. And that's what you can do, and that's what it is. There's hints of the old world. Okay, that's cool. But the thing is, it's not a main focus. It's mainly on the people of this world, the creatures of this world. And that's the feel. Like, it's just like, and the main character, Aloy. Not a fan of the name. I have to say, not the fan of the name. But the performance, the whole character as a whole, I can definitely get behind. And that's the thing. Again, you got to get behind the character that you're playing to get the greatest experience out of the game. And that's the thing. I got behind Aloy. And there was enough told at times, because it does reveal later on of like what she is. Because a lot of people throughout the game she's basically an outcast to the people of this world, or at least a section of this world. And it's not really focused on until certain parts, but it flows pretty well into it. But the thing is, you got the world, and you have to explore this world. And there's restrictions. Like, you can't climb up mountains like in Breath of the Wild. But the thing is, just the whole feel of this, you know, like when you go like up the mountains, snow starts to happen. When you go down to the balmy areas, the beach, there's like it's nice and green. Trees are all around. Fantastic. Music, fantastic. The character models, great. They're fantastic. It does. The one thing I do have to say about the characters and how they speak to each other is they have the thing of standing around talking to each other syndrome, which is basically what they established like in last gen, where basically they just stand around looking like they're talking to each other. But that's like, I don't think the game developers have made the jump to have in-game talkative people yet. Like, you might get there eventually, but nevertheless. But the characters, like what you're seeing, how they speak, the vocal, like voice work compared to what the person's talking, beautiful, fantastic. Like, and the variety of looks, characters. The thing is, like it's like a visual masterpiece just to look at, like some of the surrounding areas. Like, you just go on literally like one of the mountains, look around. Hence I say it, the atmosphere, just looking around at, like on top of a mountain, just looking around, panning the camera back and forth, is even more breathtaking than Breath of the Wild. I said it. There you go. There is a photo mode in this, and the thing is, you can set up shots basically to make it look like almost it was taken from a professional camera. Like, it just boggles the mind of the detail, the greatness that is let's just say the graphics are, again, stupendous. Stupendous, basically. Great. And it just, the main point is that the fun factor in games like similar to this, before this, I didn't have fun. Like, playing Assassin's Creeds, it was okay at the begin with, but then it just got really drawl at there. Tomb Raider, the same way. But this one, never a dull moment. And it builds and builds and builds until an ending, like, section that is intense. Let's just say it is intense. And the thing is, you can build on that intenseness if you want. Because throughout your journey, you can help people or you don't have to. And that thing is, it affects the ending. And that's basically what it is. Holy cow. I don't know what else to say other than this was it was totally from left field. I did not expect to enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn as much as I did. And there is a complete collection out right now with the Frozen Wilds, which I have not played yet, but still, the core game itself is enough to just pick it up. And that's all I need to say is just this will be a journey. Number 1, Persona 5. Done. But I do have to say, it was very close between number 2, the Horizon Zero Dawn, and Persona 5, because this year I had fun with both. But I do have to say, I had more fun with Persona 5 than Horizon Zero Dawn, and that's because I guess I had familiar with Persona, because Persona 4 Golden is literally, I think, 1 or tied with 1 or even 2 in my top games of all time. It's just one of those games that just really is fun. The story's great, and also the greatest thing is that it moves me. And that's at least my thing of a good game, is that it has got to have some kind of emotional, preferably a good emotional reaction to it, not a bad, but nevertheless, if it is a good emotional reaction, it is a good game. And Persona 5 has its moments. Not as much as number 4, but it did have its moments. But I have to say, the combat in this is like so much better than number 4, which is great because number 3 to number 4, they drastically improved. And then from number 4 to number 5, they just improved it even more. And it is fantastic. And I don't really even know how to even word it, because I said fantastic in the past, like two numbers. But this game, the art style, like just looking at it, oh my god, it is just a great thing just to look, even at the menus. Hell, when I was like fusing personas back and forth, just the menu, it just is a great thing just for the eyes to look at, because the art style, Atlas just went grade A with it, and it paid off. It looks fantastic, stylish. I've run out of adjectives to actually say, but it looks stunning. Music had to grow on me. At first, a lot of the themes were like, but they grow on me. One of my personal favorites is I don't know what it's called. I think it's the one where you're going through the palace to take the treasure, and then it's an instrumental theme through the first several palaces, and then the last several palaces they kick in with vocals, and it's like, oh, beautiful. It's just gets you moving, and it's great. And the thing is, the rest of the themes, the opening, I didn't really like too much. Even today, it's like it's good, what it's not great. But the thing is, 4 with Golden and the regular one didn't really hit me, but the rest of the music, fantastic. And this one is similar, where the title theme didn't really get me too much, but I have to say the rest of the soundtrack, fantastic. Like even the overworld day-to-day theme, where I believe it's called Under the Mask, and the variations of it, like if it's sunny, if it's rainy, if it's instrumental, and then if it's not instrumental, it's just a good mellow song just to kind of just sit back and relax to and just do some work to it, and that's great. And the boss theme, oh yes, the boss, actually it's before the boss theme, let's go with the battle. The battle theme, didn't like it first. I find it pretty good right now. But the boss theme definitely growed, because after number 4 with its you have to face yourself, the one, well, there's actually 2. There's like a mini boss theme, and then there's the actual boss theme of it. And I do have to say both are fantastic. They rev up and then they just deliver, and it's great. And now I'm going with the characters. The characters, in my personal opinion, aren't as good as the 4 cast, the Persona 4 cast, but that's me. And again, opinions. But I do have to say some standout ones are great. One of my favorite guys in this game is Yusuke. Like his confidant, so remember, like that's like almost like if I was to remember one confidant in the actual game, it would be Yusuke, because he's just so logical, so cool-headed. He doesn't lose his cool, and when he does lose his cool, he just goes from like 0 to 100 in like a matter of moments. And the thing is, I can kind of even relate to him a little bit, like his thinking and his personality. But even like the other characters, the side characters, the confidants that aren't on your team, some of them are like, okay, well, I have to do this just to complete the game. And there's other ones that are like I remember this. And one of those is your homeroom teacher, Kawakami. It's like her situation and just the way she is oh my god, it's like I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. When I first played it, I'm like, what's going on? No idea. But yeah, the story, the characters, a good mixed bag of very memorable characters to the feel is like, yeah, all the teams are good. Like the 4 team was good, the 3 team was good, the 5 team had a very good bonding experience, but it just, I think it could have been more. And that's what I'm going to keep on saying, I guess, for my like kind of final thoughts here, is that the game itself is fantastic. It's probably the most fun I've actually had this year. That's why it's in number 1. But it still feels like it's missing a few things. And that's what I felt with number 4 when I actually played number 4, is that it was good, it was like fantastic, but it felt like it was missing a little things here and there, and then Golden came out, and then that filled that void. So I'm pretty sure, assuming that if like a year or maybe 2 down the line, 5 will get a re-release under a title, and that is probably going to be like what I'm actually looking for. Well, I hope so. The number one thing that I really hope they do, and it's probably not going to happen, is that they make a gender selection in the game, like play the portable Persona 3 portable, where you're male or female, and to go with that. And that's what I kind of hope Golden was. But if you did Golden, you would have to like rewrite the almost the entire like script, and you know, the thing is, if they did that, like just did that and made it a separate game, it's like Persona 5, like the female edition or something. Man, that would be like so great. I'd buy that with no like questions asked. I'd be like, down. Here's your money. Here's my money. Take it. Because it's literally almost the same game, just different. You might have different confidants, just a different feel of it. And I do have to say, the only thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way is like the ending. And the ending part, like literally pretty much the last palace to the ending, it just felt, I don't want to say rushed, but odd. And I don't really know how to actually explain it other than that. It just felt out of place a little bit, and it needed to be a little bit more, like there was something missing. And I really hope they fill it out. If they re-release it, then they fill it out. And also, maybe a little bit more on Akechi would be also good. But other than that, I'm going with my wish list right now. And I don't want to get into too much of that unless I do another video. But anyway, Persona 5, hands down, best game of the year for me. And that's all.